What is up, you guys? This is Fallout What If here, and today we're gonna be doing what if what if Deku was the son of Baki, part 4, I believe. Yeah. So, quick note, you guys. If you guys didn't like the what if Deku was a caveman, and if I kept stuttering or like cutting off in sentences. I really do suck at talking, and yeah, that's pretty much it right there. And also, one thing I failed to mention: if I do gender bend like people in the anime, and you guys don't like it, I understand that. And some of you guys might think, "Hey, why would you gender bend this? This is like." This was so good, and now you gender bended this person. Well, here's the thing: I like twisting and turning the My Hero Academia universe into what basically I want it to be. That's how usually I do things. And think about it: other people, I always thought as a child that there was probably different other worlds where I was something else. So that's how I base it on. It's just like, there's probably things that, there's like probably paradoxes that happen every day that we don't know. Somebody could be this, somebody could be that, something could be this, and something could be that. So it's kind of like, I understand if I change things, but I understand why you guys don't like if I gender bend people, but in the end of the day, this is just a what if. All right, you guys. I understand. I understand that. I cringed like that too. But I was thinking, hey, this is other people's ideas. I should be kind of fair to them, you know. Sometimes I don't like what if Deku was the villain. But in the end, sometimes the story is kind of cool, so as long as the story is cool, it doesn't matter to me. And plus, it's not my what if, so I can't be like, oh, I think you should change it this way. Well, I think you should get your own what if, you know? But I do understand what you guys are saying. But anyway. Oh, and for some of the things that you guys were saying on this last what if, about the Baki series, some of you guys said you wanted her to Kirishima to still have the red hair, and I say yes and no. We're actually gonna give her red highlights. What's it called? She's still gonna have her black hair, but she's also gonna have red hair as well. So it's gonna be a mix because she dyes her hair. And I understand, why did you do that? Well, technically, Kirishima's hair was supposed to be black to begin with. All right, let's just cut that off. It's because it was because most of the time he was with. Wait, how do I say this? She was depressed, and she was most of the time alone. But she met Baki, or Deku. And Deku had red hair and green hair. Or mostly red hair and green highlights. And not by not by coloring his hair, but he had natural green highlights. So she's more into freaking Deku, and she likes his hair. So she copied it off of that. So yeah, you guys might say, no, not do this, but I think I like this right now. We'll see in the future. We'll see. Everything could be changed by a snap of the fist. The flick of the wrist. Well, technically it's the snap of the fingers. Or it's the sound made by the fingers. But anyway, besides that, I think where we last left off, Deku got first place on everything besides Mineto's thing and the freaking... Well, he got tied with Uraraka. And let's see what else. Deku hates him. Kirishima's going to get the freaking one for all. Like I said before, it's a natural defense. It's a her quirk is a really good defense and offense, but it's mostly defense. And that quirk can be used for defense and All Might's quirk can be used for defense and offense, but it's mostly offense. So it's basically you're giving this person 100% of both. Which I feel like one day she fights Baki. I mean, she'll fight Deku, and most of the time she'll lose. But hey, she is going to win a couple of them. It's not like Deku cares. But Deku is still strong because of the genetics. So anyway, now that we are all that there. Well, now that we got all that settled. Now let's see what else. Oh, okay. So Deku is with freaking Kirishima, and some of you guys are telling me what's happening to Toga. Well, Toga is going to be the villain, and I understand that, but Deku doesn't know this, and he's going to actually meet her. But in the end, like I said, this is going to be a changer. And yes, Deku's with Toga and freaking Kirishima. It's kind of a weird thing, but you know, like I said, this is just a what if here, people. I understand if you're mad, and I understand if you're super happy. But anyway, as we go on, Deku and Kirishima are kind of going on a little date. They've been going out for quite a while, and I think they've gone out on the last what if or something like that. Let's just say Kirishima confessed her feelings to him, and he accepted. But he does look at Kirishima's hair at times, and he likes her hair, but he also is reminded of Toga. He's always thinking of that little girl with the two buns on her hair, thinking about the blood she always kept consuming. Which, if you guys don't know, she consumed Deku's blood, and she liked it. It was like, let's say it's kind of like having prime cut steak. You don't want the cheap crap. No. You want the one that's like that's beautiful. Or I think my explanations suck. But you don't want fake gold. You want the real gold. Or you don't want something that's kind of in between. You want the one that's like 100% good. Which that's what Deku's blood is to her. 100% like better. And Deku is thinking about this for quite a while until Kirishima snaps him out of it. And they go to the movies. Not only that, they also get something to eat. They walk to the park, and you know, they do a little makeout session. Just a little makeout session, that's it. And she takes him home. He takes her home. He walks, and he's training. Let's just say that he was wearing some cargo pants, and he was wearing probably a jacket, or like a sweat jacket, or a sports jacket. I don't know what to say. But he was wearing all that stuff, and he was just going for a jog. And he just does that. He does that around the city. His parents don't care, or they care, but they know there's no way Deku's gonna like ever get taken away. That's what they think. Especially Baki. He has a lot of pride for his son. Especially his grandfather and great-grandfather. Oh wait, great-grandfather. Or, yeah, that's, okay, never mind. So, as this happens, he hears a commotion in an alleyway. And Deku goes to there. You guys probably know what I'm gonna do. But anyway, he goes there in the alleyway. And he sees these two guys attacking Toga, which he doesn't know just yet. But Toga is defending herself and trying to kill these two people and by stabbing them. And Deku isn't thinking anything of this. He's thinking some girl's trying to defend herself while these two villains try to attack her. And he runs up to one of them and he grabs him by the neck and he chokes him so hard that he just passes out. And the other one tries to grab him, and let's just say he has like a... Let's say he has a... like... limb... his arms can like bend any direction, and they could stretch a couple of feet. And Deku grabs him by the hands, and the dude's pulling back, and Deku finds out what his quirk can actually do, and he just wraps him around his own hands and tying them up, and he knocks him out. And Toga says thank you, and Deku says, "Oh, you're welcome." But this is when Toga stabs Deku. And Deku is like, what the hell? Is this how you treat all the people who save you? And Toga is looking kind of confused because her knife broke. Or it didn't break, but it didn't actually pierce him all. It didn't pierce him all the way. And she's thinking, why isn't this working? Or she says, why isn't this working? And Deku says, well, yeah, somebody tried to do that to me as a kid, but it took quite a while to actually get to my blood. But anyway, I don't know who you are, but I think you should stop. I think this is, probably you not doing, or probably you being in shock. Which Deku doesn't know. Toga's done this so many times. But Deku says, well, look, my name is... I actually forgot his name, so I just went with either Yuzuku Hanma or Yaki Hanma. But he just says his name. And Toga remembers this name, but it's still kind of fuzzy. She still remembers the kid, but she doesn't remember the name. She remembers kind of the name. So when she has this kind of like little idea of hers, and she says, can you get very mad for me? And Deku says, mad? Why do you need me to become mad? Because if I become mad, I'm technically going to probably scare some people around here. And Toga says, well, I just need you to become mad. I need to see this for myself. And Deku gets mad, but he's releasing a lot of bloodlust. Like he said, like I said before in one of my in the previous what ifs, when Deku doesn't control his bloodlust, and he either goes becoming happy or trying to become mad, if he doesn't control his bloodlust, a lot of people can feel it, and most times than not, if they're even close by him by a meter or probably by a couple of feet, they can possibly pass out. They can possibly pass out due to the sheer fact that, yeah, this is like Deku's bloodlust going rampant, or running rampant, which, how would I say it? Toga is convinced that this is Deku. And she says, "Do you remember who I am?" And Deku says, "I'm sorry, but sometimes I do forget people. But you do kind of look familiar, so if by any means, can you actually tell me your name?" And she says, "My name is Himiko Toga." Or if I said that correctly, if I didn't say that correctly, then you know it's me. Alright, but anyway. Deku is like, Himiko, did you have a fascination for blood? Wait a minute. He doesn't say that. He says, "Oh, wait a minute, you're the chick who liked blood a lot." And she's all like confused. She's like confused of the fact that that was not the only thing that happened. And she's kind of more upset with the fact that he didn't actually remember the kiss that I think one of them gave to each other. Or if I forgot that, then yeah, they kissed like just once. It was just a childish kiss. But she's kind of like thinking to herself like, I just kissed him. I kissed him. Does he not remember? And she tells him, "Can you come closer? Come closer. Come closer." And Deku's like, okay. She grabs him by the neck. She jumps onto him and starts to just kiss him. And I don't mean, oh, I'm sorry, I was thinking of a joke right now. She wasn't going just a peck on the cheek. She was going full mustache to mustache. That's a George Lopez joke. But no, she was like, going at it. And Deku is like, and his mind's like, well, not saying I don't like it, but I think this confirms this is her, all right. And Toga is talking to Deku about what had happened, and she doesn't tell him yet about her being a villain, because she's kind of a villain in this. She is a villain in this one, but she's going to probably change her ways, or probably not. Who knows? Because but how do I say this? And if any of you guys are probably thinking why, well, let's just say I was somewhere before, and a lot of crazy people could probably change their mind right off the bat by things. If you give one of them, give them something that they want, they will change their mind in a heartbeat. Like, how do I say this? Crazy people or people can just change automatically, and yeah, you can like get them to do what you want if you give them something that they want. So yeah, she's still like psychotic in a way, and still a fanatic for blood, but she could change her mind, and that could just have, because Deku is there, and that's probably what I'm actually gonna do. But anyway, she explains all the stuff that had happened, and she kind of also tells him that she's been lonely for all this time. Not only that, she's had her depressions, and everything. She's just telling him all the negative things that have happened to her, and her being happy that she finally sees him again. Which, yeah, it's been quite a long time since Deku saw her. And he says, well, are you living somewhere right now with your parents? And she says no. She technically doesn't have a home unless you include the freaking League of Villains, where they live. And she technically doesn't have her own bed or her own room. It's technically her sleeping with a well, not even sleep. Oh wait, she isn't even in there yet. She's technically like living from place to, like, from alleyway to alleyway because of her parents not because of her parents not let's just say her parents didn't like her anymore. They just keep thinking that she likes blood so much that it's kind of confusing her. And she just doesn't actually fit anymore as being our daughter, which I think she's a sibling, has siblings, because she says, because in the manga, not in the manga, in one of the Wikipedias they said that she is the eldest child. Probably that means that she has siblings or something like that. I don't know actually, but let's just say that let's just say that her parents are like, oh, well, we have 2 other children, because it doesn't matter. Let's just say 2 other. Just to say there's 2 children there as well. So there's 3 children in total. They're thinking that because of her, because she's so crazy about blood, she doesn't want Toga to be a bad influence on on their sisters or their brothers or whatever. She doesn't, the parents don't want her to be near their kids anymore, so they technically disown her. And she doesn't want to kill the parents, because deep down she does know that because of her liking too much blood, she doesn't want her, she understands why they did it. So she's still mad at them for like abandoning her, but she also knows that she wouldn't want, she knows that they're doing this for a good reason. Which, I'm gonna say this right now, if your family has abandoned you or your family disowns you, then yeah, I understand what you guys are probably going through in some ways, or how a broken family is. I'm just gonna say you're not alone, alright? But anyway, man, I need to actually put my story into this right here, and a lot of views. But anyway, she explains that she has nowhere to live, and Deku, having a rich family, well, technically who has a father who's rich, says that, I think I can help you with your living arrangements. And she takes him to a house which Baki owns, but Baki doesn't use because, let's just say that guests can be there, and Deku can invite anybody who is there, but as long as they clean up after themselves and not try to like steal or make a mess of anything. And Deku's like, okay, yeah, I got you. So he explains to his parents that he's going to live by a house, in one of the houses by himself, because he just wants a lot of privacy right now. And Baki knows probably what's going on, but Inko's like, oh, okay, dear, don't worry about it. As long as you brush your teeth and, have a clean pair of underwear. And he, just like prepares him to go into the house, which is probably like 3 blocks away. Which, yeah, he doesn't own like a whole block of houses. He just owns like probably 15 houses, which is still kind of like weird. but he, with good reason, he lets sometimes homeless people in there that he knows, and people who are coming into town. You know, just people he knows and trusts, and random people in general. But he lives in one of the houses, so he puts vacant or not vacant or whatever in one of the places to make sure like they know that somebody's already living there. And Toga and him are actually now living together in a way. Deku says, all right, well, I'm going to live here with you and I'm going to take care of you because you don't look like you eat too much. Not only that, you're mostly skin and bones, and you got to eat something besides blood and pizza. And drinking Coke as well is not a lot healthy for you. So I'll just make you some meals from time to time. And Deku kind of knows that she's probably a villain or somewhat a bad guy or something like that. But he also knows that this is somebody who he protected back then. And she was nice to him as well. And a lot of people didn't like Deku because I don't think I actually got into his childhood in a way. Well, here's the thing. The times that he was in school, a lot of people didn't even like talk to him because his bloodlust sometimes went like out of control, which she sometimes remembers that, oh, I'm sorry, but it's kind of too late. A lot of people either pass out or they're so scared that they technically crap themselves. So Toga probably is the only one who's actually accepted him because of his bloodlust and isn't actually afraid of him. So that makes him actually happy, and that reminds him of like why he was friends with her, or at least friendly with her in the first place. So here's the thing. He talks to her and he says, look, Toga, I don't know what you've been doing for the past, probably, let's see, I don't know how old they were, let's just say 10 years, or probably let's just say 7 years, because I forgot how old they were back then. I think it was 4 years old, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, he says, well, I don't know what you've been doing, and if you don't want to tell me, then I understand. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to live here with me, you're not going to try to do any harm to people or try to steal, try to kill. If you need blood, then you can come to me. I'll share all the blood I have with you, as long as you don't do nothing to hurt people anymore. Do we understand each other? And Toga nods her head and says, yes, he's Yaki or Deku. I understand. She's kind of feeling a lot of guilt in a way, because Deku's being nice to her even though they just met for one day. Which, yeah, she showed a lot more kindness to him and a lot more happiness than anybody in his school. Because in the anime, not a lot of people just liked him before, until probably high school. So that's kind of like the same thing with Deku. And Deku was okay with her. And it makes him kind of have feelings for her. Well, technically he did have feelings for her like back then. It was kind of like a crush. So being around her is kind of nervous, well, kind of nerve-wracking to him. But he's thinking to himself, All right, this is stop thinking with your other head and start thinking with the big head. Or no, he's not going to say that. All right, get your mind out of the gutter. Let's just see where this goes. And Deku and her start to talk a lot more. And yeah, this is when she kind of spills the beans. I'm not gonna say that. She kind of lets out the fact that she has killed people for blood, and she kind of did do some villainous stuff, which she cries because somebody who, like us before, he only met once, is taking care of her and telling her that he's going to give her his blood. Which, if you guys don't know, a lot of people saw Toga as villainous because of her quirk. And she was kind of sad of the fact that not a lot of people liked her. And she was bullied a lot for this, because if you have a villainous quirk, and if you look like you have a villainous quirk, and how do I say this? If people think that you have a villainous quirk, then they're gonna bully you and call you a villain and all that stuff. So that's why Toga was mostly much more crazier, because she thought she kind of was like that. Well, not like that. She kind of did kill a lot of people because the people who bullied her kind of just broke her in a way. And yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why she was a villain. She wanted to get revenge on those, and she also liked blood. So it's kind of like a win-win. She technically was drinking from the blood of her enemies, which sounds kind of cool if you think about it. But anyway, Deku and her, talk a bit more, and he does understand. And Deku and her go to sleep because it's nighttime, but Deku is kind of like mostly fast asleep, and Toga's right there, and like how do I say this, she's conjuring up a plan. She's thinking right now. No, she's not gonna kill him or try to assassinate him. She's actually like sneaking into his bed, and she just gets on top of him and just lies down and goes to sleep. Which Deku wakes up in a couple of hours. It's still nighttime, and he sees Toga, and he is not actually nervous because he has like that, like I said before, he has the Hanma bloodline. They don't fear anything, even love. Even if a woman is on top of them, they don't actually fear or get nervous. Yeah, so that's... But Deku does kind of like get a little shocked because he still has Inko's blood within him. So Deku's all like, oh, well, this is shocking in a way. And Deku is like, how do I say it? He like flexes his muscles to the point where Toga actually kind of like flies in the air. But not flies, but you know how like when you jump on a trampoline, you bounce up? She kind of does that. And Deku gets out of the bed super fast and holds her. Or catches her, actually. And he lies her down on the bed. Or let's not say bed, because they only shared one bed. He actually gave her the bed. And she has the couch. And Deku is sleeping on the couch, and she's sleeping on the bed. Because, let's just say, they don't have a bed on that one. They only, I mean, not a bed. They only have one bed, and he wants to respect her privacy, which he now knows that she's okay with sleeping with Deku. But anyway, he goes to the restroom, and he is wondering what he should do because Toga is cute to him. Like, he's like, ain't that something? But he's also thinking, oh, geez, I have a girlfriend. I should remain faithful. I shall be faithful. But he's thinking, well, we're not doing nothing bad. Although she did kind of like attack my lips over there at the freaking, how do I say this? What was it called? In the alleyway. So he's thinking, well, yeah, might as well. She's not doing anything. So, yeah. Pretty much, they don't wake up just yet. Oh, no. This is one of those, freaking, how would I say this? Tangents, or freaking, the word that I'm trying to describe is like, I don't really know what I was going to say, but Kirishima comes by because because Baki and her, and Baki is up and Nico's still sleeping, and Kirishima is, because it's like, let's say it's on a Sunday. They went and they were on a date that day. And oh geez, okay, so let's wrap this up right here. Anyway, she calls she knocks on the door, Baki answers, and she tells him where they're at, or where Deku is at. Deku says, gives her the address. She goes, she walks 2 blocks away, and she opens the door with the keys he gave her, which Deku forgot. Or not, he didn't forget. He just gave her the spare keys. And lo and behold, she sees Deku with some blonde-haired woman on top of him. She looks away. She looks at him again. She looks away. She looks away at him. She looks to him again. She rubs her eyes, looks again, and is in shock. And she goes in front of Deku, and she's wondering to herself, did they do it? Did he just cheat on me? What the heck is going on here? There shall be blood. And blood there shall be. And she was called, let's just say she hardens her hand up to a chopping position. And the moment she tries to hit him in the head, Deku catches her arm. Deku catches her arm, and he grabs her by the collar, and how do I say this? He just plants a kiss on her, which was pretty smooth, but I kept messing up the sentence, but smooth nonetheless. So she blushes and she's like whispering, who is this person right here? And he kind of explains while telling, he explains that this person kind of slept on him because he actually doesn't know why. And she's living here because he knows her from the past. She tells him, well, what is her name? And this is when Toga just says, oh, hi. I was wondering if you're going to say wondering who I was. My name is Himiko Toga, and how are you? And she just jumps back and like thinks, "Oh, what the hell? What the hell? You were awake the whole time?" And even Deku's surprised, like, "Oh, I didn't actually I didn't actually know that she was awake the whole time." Okay, I need to train for this kind of thing. And what's called Kirishima was like, "What kind of person just trains because of what's called? How do I say this? What kind of person trains to? What kind of person trains so they can know that somebody's awake or not?" And Deku's like, "Pretty much don't know." And Toga knows that these two are dating because he talked about Kirishima, and she says, "Look, Kirishima-san, or Chan, or whatever the heck is, Chan, Han, San, Yon, Tang, Kang, Toing." Jeez, I'm so messed up. Anyway. I'm actually 1% Chinese, so I get to say that. But anyway, I love my life. But anyway, she tells her that she likes Deku, and she likes Deku, but he also knows that she went to attack her on the lips, or she attacks him on the lips. And Kirishima is shocked and says, wait a minute. This is my man." And Toga's all like, "Oh, this is your man?" She says, "Yes." And she says, well, yeah, I'm kind of greedy, even if it's somebody else's man. I knew him first. And she says, "Well, yeah, but I was technically friends with him in middle school," which, yeah, let's just say middle school, let's say 7th grade to 8th grade. Yeah, they were becoming best friends. And they just started dating recently, so yeah. But anyway, she says, "Well, there's only one way where we can actually have both what we want." And she grabs Kirishima and she attacks her lips with, well, how do I say this? With such elegance, and technically Kirishima blushes and she's kind of passed out. And Deku's all like, "You actually have some good techniques right there. Probably need to train harder." And Toga's all like, "I'll train with you." And yeah, this is one of the freaking things that happened over the Sunday. Okay, hold on. Let's see, we can date for free? Oh, jeez, what the heck? Anyway, now let's just say, let's go to the freaking USJ, or not USJ, the freaking Heroes versus Villains attack, or no, it's the one where Deku was versing Bakugo, which Toga is still at the house, and Deku told his dad, is there some way we can actually is there some way we can transfer Toga to high school with us? And Baki does know freaking, what's his name? What's her name? What's his name? The principal? Because let's say in the anime, Tokugawa, the bear did know Tokugawa. You guys don't know who he is. He's in the anime. He's one of the people who did the whole sports thing, or the arena where Baki became the best fighter. And let's just say that they knew each other for a short time until he passed it on to his son. And technically, Baki is still like the the world champion. And yeah, so that means that that freaking the bear, the principal, he's all like, as long as I get to see some of your famous fighting styles and how you fight again, yeah, I'll take in the favors. So yeah, he kind of has sway over the principal. So, and he's also rich too, so it's like it's not that big of a deal. And like I said before, I believe he's a billionaire or a trillionaire because of the company that he had from his mother. Give me a second. Okay. So now this is the USJ, the Heroes versus Villains exam. And Deku's costume is much more different because he technically only has shorts, bandage tape, like a belt, like for first aid and all that stuff. Some freaking let's say a bit of like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. This is the Baki. This is Baki's son. He doesn't need no he doesn't need no armor. He only has basically a tank top. Well, let's just say a t-shirt, and he's wearing shorts, and he has like tape around his arms and stuff. Basically, he's like doing MMA, but his shorts are a bit longer, and he has like I said before, he has a t-shirt. And yeah, the reason why I'm saying this is because, like I said, he's the son of the strongest man in the world. He doesn't technically need all that, and glass and other stuff can't technically tear through his flesh because Toga's knives are super sharp. And if it can't even stab Deku all the way, what makes you think glass can? What makes you think that concrete or rocks and all that stuff can actually phase him? What makes you think that the fires can phase him? Well, I think fire, like if blasting onto Deku, can actually like hurt the skin. But still, Deku can survive. Deku can survive all that. So, freaking, let's say he's with Kirishima, and All Might pulled some of the strings so that way Kirishima can be with Deku, because Deku's gonna help her with her freaking all for one full cowling. No, one for all full cowling. Was I saying that the whole time? Oh, jeez. Okay, so anyway, Deku is right there, and all the girls are looking at him. All the girls are looking at him like, that's a snack right there. That's beef Wellington right there. Whew. And like I said, this is only gonna have two people. This is not gonna be a harem, which technically Yujiro had a harem. But also, here's the thing: Yujiro married two women, or not married two women. He had two children. So if he could do that, what makes you guys think that Deku can't do that? Or did I say that right? If Yujiro Hanma could do that, then Deku could too. Alright, so that's pretty much my say in this, or my reasoning. But here's how it's gonna start. Deku goes to, oh shoot, what's now? Deku X Melissa. Alright, so somebody actually commented. That's good. You know why? Because nobody actually gave me any suggestions. So if there's other ones right there, like I said before, Anybody else comments, I'm gonna either do some heads or tails, and if more than one chooses Deku X Melissa, or if somebody has the most votes, or if a lot of people comment on a single one. So yeah, I'll pick that. All right. So first off, we got Deku X Melissa, so that's one for that. Demi, yeah, let's just say Demi. But anyway, let's just go on to this. Oh, hold on, give me a second. It's Demi for Deku X Melissa, and Demo and Deti for Telly. But anyway, let's go. Let's get on with this. So Bakugo is right there, and he's thinking of a plan. But he's feeling like, should he even fight him? Because he still wants to attack him. But he knows that Deku is super strong. And with his bloodlust, it's kind of frightening to him. Because Bakugo isn't dumb in this one. He just doesn't charge all the way. He's actually much more cautious. Alright? Oh, jeez. Alright, my bad. Bakugo's more cautious in this one. So he makes a plan with Ida. He says, alright, we're going to do A, B, C, and D. You'll do X, Y, and Z. And then we'll, kick him in the ASS. And we'll get the W. Alright? Break. So they do all their plan. And Deku and Kirishima go there and just walking around. And they're saying, and she's talking to him about, so, who was the better kisser? Me or her? And Deku's all like, this is the time, nor the place. And Kirishima is getting mad. And tries to punch Deku. And Deku just dodges it. And she's trying to punch him, but they're still walking. But he's just like dodging each and every one of them. Until she becomes a little more enraged. So she uses 1% full cowling. And Deku notices the speed go off by a bit. But it's nothing that he can't handle at all. Like, really. Sorry, my throat is actually dry right now from talking. I should have got some H2O. So anyway. He gets annoyed by this because he's not gonna hurt her or anything. He just grabs her by her, I don't actually know what her costume is gonna be. Cause I don't think she's gonna be Red Riot anymore. I think she's gonna be much more different. I don't really know. He does grab her because she has like a tank top on still. Like a durable one. He grabs her by the tank top and he just goes in for a kiss, just attacking the lips, with much devastation. And she blushes and he says, look, I don't know how this relationship's gonna work. Technically, I don't know myself if you guys decided, but either way, I love you both the same. You're both nice to me, and I don't want to lose that. But right now isn't the time nor the place, like I said. He flicks her in the head. And yeah, it does kind of leave a bruise because this is Deku who does it. So anyway, they run. And she's using only 1% full cowling. Because she felt what she did, and she's much more battle smart than basically brash as Kirishima in the anime. And they run, and she feels this energy, and she's like amazed on what this can do. But she's only on 1%, so yeah, she actually learned full cowling just by getting jealous of Deku. the springtime of youth. But anyway, they run and run until they catch up, and they see Bakugo right there. And Bakugo is kind of like mad / scared because he doesn't know what's going to happen. Because this is Deku we're talking about. And Deku gets excited. His bloodlust does come out a little bit. And Deku sees it. And the moment he does see bloodlust, he sees Deku. But this time in his mind, he sees Deku as much more taller and much more buffer. And it looks like his hands are going around Bakugo's neck. And yeah, Bakugo starts exploding the whole freaking place. He's exploding and exploding and exploding. And Kirishima is right there in front of Deku saying, I got this. And she just does full cowling, 1%. And not only that, she's using the full cowling into her quirk. So she's hardened up. And let's say that she's kind of like in season 2. Her hardening's much more better. And Deku sees this and he's kind of impressed. But he says, well. I should have known that Bakugo was going to act like a monster. Well, not like a monster. I should have known he was going to act like a beast. But I think I should end this one right here. So he goes to freaking Bakugo, runs behind him, and Bakugo actually kicks him in the neck, which kind of stuns Deku for just a millisecond. He's like, that's kind of actually good. Did you get stronger? And Bakugo is now getting much more mad. Because the much more mad he is, the much more better and stronger he becomes. But only when he's mad. Yeah, so he's kind of like a weirder version, like a dumbed down version of Broly in such a way. In ways. But he explodes. And Deku feels the explosions, and he feels like the heat coming onto him, and he's like, it kind of hurts, but you really did outdo yourself. Wait, you outdone? Man, I suck at this. You've outdone yourself, Bakugo. You really have. Over the years, you were actually weak, but now you kind of improved. But out of from 1 to 100. From my grandfather's standpoint, or from my grandfather's point of view, you're not even a 0. And he punches him in the freaking chest. And Bakugo feels this. And he punched him in the heart. And Bakugo's chest or heart is beating like 3 times a second. Or 3 times faster than it would, because he punched it to the point where it's like beating even more faster. So if you know like how those boxers use those punching things, I've actually forgot, and it goes like it like goes back and forth really fast. That's how his heart was, because once he punched it. And he does like probably 20 punches and kicks onto freaking Bakugo, and the moment he's done, he just like pushes him, and Bakugo is like knocked out. Blood's coming out of his mouth. He's not dead, he's just in a lot of pain, and he's crying. Which, why is he crying, Fallout? How could Bakugo cry? Well, it was because of not only Deku's, technically his pride by losing, but because of the fact that that pain that he felt was a little more intense than he would have felt back then. Or, how do I say this? Deku punched him so hard in the chest and punched him so much and like did a lot of combos on him that the pain that he felt was unbearable, which made Bakugo tear up and cry. But he's not like crying, but tears did come out of his eyes. And Ida knows that Bakugo's already like down because of what he heard on the freaking headphones. And Kirishima's like, "Oh, I don't think you should have gone hard on him. He doesn't even have." And Deku stops him and stops her and says, "Let's just keep it into our head, all right?" And she's like, okay. He ties up Bakugo, but he's thinking to himself, I don't think he should even be tied up. I think he's probably going to be out for a long time. But anyway, they run to freaking Ida. And Ida is right there and saying, well, he does all that like freaking villain talk. And he's all like, well, heroes. I see you defeated my partner. But that doesn't mean you can defeat. And the moment that he even talked, or the moment he, a couple of seconds later, Deku was in front of him, and he kicked him in the nuts, which they do a lot in the freaking anime. I mean, in Baki, actually, because that's like so many times I've seen that, I'm like, oh, jeez, that's gonna hurt. But anyway, Ida is in pain, and he's in tears because, yeah, you got kicked in the nuts. And he did it hard, too, because of the armor. But even so, that armor was like butter to him. So, even so, he's not able to walk. He's technically having his butt in the air. That kind of thing when somebody's already, like, beaten up. And Deku just touches the bomb, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah, that happens. And Deku goes over there, and All Might says, young Hanma, I understand that you had to verse villains, but was it so necessary to actually was it necessary to do that to the young Bakugo? And Deku just says, look, if that was the case, Bakugo would have just given up, or he would have not attacked full force. He knew that he was versing me. He knew my strength, but yet he fought me and tried to kill me. Or not even tried to kill me. He knew he was going 100% all out on me. As you can see, he even released the 2 blasts with his gauntlets. And All Might's like, you do have a point, young Midoriya. Well, I might as well just tell him, well, hold on. I'll just take him to freaking, what's her name? Healing lady? No, lady in healing. Medicine girl? I actually forgot her name, to be honest. But, what else do I say? Oh, so that happens. It's the end of the day. Bakugo's still in pain, and he's, like, still asleep. And he doesn't want to move right now. And Deku goes home with Kirishima, because he told her he was going to spend the night with one of her girlfriends. And Kirishima's parents are like, oh, okay. Which technically is not, which is technically kind of true. Except for the fact that she forgot to say she has a boyfriend. Or her girlfriend lives with her boyfriend. Anyway, what the heck is this? I'll see that later. But anyway, they start, she doesn't come there every day, but she does visit, like, after school. And Deku and them start to build a relationship. They start from square one, but they don't actually tell freaking Kirishima about her being a villain until later on. Which I forgot to mention, he, after she told him about that, Deku just held her. Deku does hold her because he knows that that she just did what she had to do. And even though it was kind of like wrong to do it, he also knows that he knows that how you say it, he accepts her, all right? He accepts her for what her flaws were, for what her flaws are, and he just says it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's why probably she was sleeping next by him. And yeah, they do sleep. They all do, like, sometimes take naps with each other. It does kind of get sometimes Kirishima does blush when they kiss in front of each other, or if any of them kisses in front of each other. But she'll get used to it. But anyway, I think I should leave it off here. Besides that, freaking one of you guys said, why do you make your videos so long? And this is why. When every day I'm at work and I listen to a what if, it always feels like it's gone that whole, like, it's probably like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And I'm like thinking, all right. And then 30 minutes go by and it's like, oh man, there's really nothing to do. And then there's like no other videos from the other, like, what ifers. So I'm like, why don't I just make these like hour-long ones for the ones who also, like, have to work for a long time and who have nothing, like, who are so bored and who can listen onto their phones. So I'm like, I'm doing it for them too, all right? So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and please do subscribe. I still want to make it to 500. But anyway, you guys take care. And yeah, bye.